This week on Outdoor Oklahoma, we hope we don't bug you too much when we take you on an insect adventure with OSU Extension Service. Then, teaching shotgun shooting skills through the public schools? Well, it's a reality, and it's one of the department's fastest growing education programs. From the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, Outdoor Oklahoma. Well, hello and welcome to Outdoor Oklahoma. I'm Todd Craighead, and today I'm joined by Gina Donnell, our Wildlife Diversity Specialist.
Hi Todd, thanks for having me.
Now, speaking of diversity, we've kind of got a good diverse show today. We're going to be looking at our Oklahoma Scholastic Shooting Sports program, which you participated in the first ever state tournament.
I did, it was a lot of fun.
We're also going to be looking at the Oklahoma State University's entomology department's Insect Adventure. But first, wildlife diversity seems kind of like a vague term. What all does that involve?
Sure, so the Department of Wildlife manages over 700 species of wildlife, but only a small fraction of those are game species. So a lot of the other species like Texas horned lizards, bald eagles, we've got orange-throated darters, they fall under the umbrella of the Wildlife Diversity Program. And
so it's your responsibility then to kind of educate and inform the public about all those different species out there.
Sure. We promote those species through a variety of outlets. We write several articles for Outdoor Oklahoma, our magazine, but we also have a dedicated newsletter every month that comes out the wild side.
That's great. Well, we're going to be visiting about some more of those outlets that Gina lets people know about what she's up to. But first, let's take a look at the Insect Adventure. Insect Adventure through OSU.
Hi, I'm Rachel Bradley, and I'm about to go on an insect adventure. Come join me. Today, we're at the Insect Adventure Cooperative Extension Service at OSU. Let's go inside. The Insect Adventure at OSU, and I feel like a kid in a candy store. It's amazing. They have everything. Insects native to Oklahoma, biggest insects there are, all kinds of things in here. There's stuff all over the walls. There's bees, and you can see hives being made. It's so cool. So I want Andrine to talk to us about some of these insects native to Oklahoma and maybe some of the myths. I mean, because not all of us like insects, but these are awesome and you will love them. Andrina, tell me about them.
We've got a lot of different kinds of insects and their relatives here at the Insect Adventure. Like you mentioned, we have the dreaded bees. We have a living hive indoors that people can explore. We also have tarantulas and centipedes and vinegaroons, which people have almost never heard of. And we have some millipedes that are a foot long. And almost all of these things are animals that people can handle and touch and explore directly.
So you let people come, or you go to other people and let them see these things or touch them and learn about them.
They're maggots. Maggots. Living, breathing maggots ready to be painted with.
I don't want to eat those. Oh, cool.
No, you're not going to eat these. You eat the mealworms on Wednesday. My name is Andrine Shufran, and I am an extension entomologist, and we are at the OSU Insect Adventure. And it's not about fear factor. We're not about scaring, we're about entomology, which is the science of insects and all of their relatives. This facility is designed as an educational center so that families and people and 4-H'ers and Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts and birthday parties and anybody who wants to learn about entomology can come and study and learn about insects in an environment that is educational and safe and professional. This is the red-headed giant centipede, which is found all over the southern United States, including Oklahoma. And it has a big red head and a shiny black body and lots of legs. Sometimes
Tons of legs.
as many as 100 legs on an adult. These guys can be 10 inches long, and they are predators. They are carnivores. They will eat anything that is smaller than their bodies. Mice, spiders, lizards.
It can wrap itself around a mouse.
Yep, it takes 2 days for it to eat the mouse.
Wow.
But it can definitely see that as prey. Certainly when most people see an arthropod this large, they assume that it's a deadly animal and they feel very frightened. Even though this animal can bite and it's gonna hurt. I mean, if I bit you, it would hurt.
Sure.
That doesn't mean that it's going to make you sick, going to make a hole rotted in your arm, or going to kill you. The venom on our local centipedes is not deadly. It's not terribly toxic. It is very painful, and it only comes from their mouth. A lot of people have been told that all of the legs on a centipede are full of poison, and that is not true. His tail doesn't sting either.
Okay.
His tail is part of his camouflage.
And they're very fast.
These guys can run up to 25 miles an hour over the ground to catch their prey or to get away from things trying to eat them.
So it keeps putting its tail in the air. Tell me about that.
It's trying to confuse you as to which is the head and which is the tail. They look similar enough that if you were a bird or a fox, you might be fooled. And if you get your tail bitten off, it's not such a big deal as when you get your head bitten off. This is our local tarantula that you might find walking around in Oklahoma. People call them Arkansas browns or Oklahoma browns. And this is a little male. This one over here is a Brazilian species.
That is too cool.
And she's called a Brazilian white-kneed tarantula. It looks like there are 2 tarantulas in here, and that would bother most people because certainly the big tarantula always eats the little tarantula. But this is the skin that she shed last night when she wanted to get bigger.
Wow.
There is a myth about the hairs too. Some people have been told that tarantulas can shoot their hairs. Now, tarantulas can rub their legs against their abdomen and break off hairs. And those hairs are very irritating on skin or in your eyes, or if you breathe them, that would be very bad. But they certainly don't have any kind of propulsion. They can't fire them like a gun. They just rub them and create a little irritating cloud around their bodies to keep them from being eaten. These animals are the largest group of animals on the planet, bar none. There are estimated to be anywhere between 10 million and 100 million species of insects on the planet with us. Insects are the bottom of the food chain. Everything out there in the world is eating bugs, including people. And so they provide nutrition and protein and energy for the planet of animals to function.
This is an African flat rock scorpion we're looking at. So tell me what in Oklahoma is similar to this?
Certainly our scorpions here in Oklahoma do not get this large.
Okay.
These are tropical rainforest species that grow for many years to get this big. This little guy here, you can see him
so
there.
Tiny.
That is what we call a striped bark scorpion, and that's the native Oklahoma scorpion. This one is almost an adult. The bark scorpion from Oklahoma has a very painful sting, certainly on the level of a wasp or a bee sting.
Sure.
Very burning, very painful, very brief.
So what do we look for if that were to happen?
If you get stung by a scorpion in the United States, it's going to hurt. You're going to know about it, definitely. You're going to be aware when it happens, but you don't have to be afraid that you need to go to the hospital or that you're going to have an allergic reaction. Most stings get red and painful, and they'll swell, and it itches. That's all normal.
Okay.
And you treat with a piece of ice or an ice pack, and then a Benadryl. A scorpion sting shouldn't last longer, the painful part shouldn't last longer than 5 or maybe 10 minutes at most.
Oh, okay, so it's brief time.
Very, very brief.
I just want to thank Andrina and the Insect Adventure for having me come out. I could stay here all day learning about these things. They're so interesting. And you too can book your own insect adventure by visiting insectadventure.okstate.edu.
You know, Gina, Insect Adventure actually looks like a lot of fun.
It does, but I'm really excited that they are dispelling a lot of misconceptions about insects.
That's great.
It's great to see.
You've got actually your own little adventure going on here
We
for
do.
a few months. It's your new Facebook page. Tell us about that.
We started a Facebook page to promote the Wildlife Diversity Program. So we're posting a lot of things about what our biologists are doing out in the field, doing surveys, going on inventories, but also just some around the office stuff. There's a ruby-throated hummingbird nesting just outside of our office, so that's been a great thing to watch them go from nestlings and hopefully come out to be fledglings.
That's great. You know, I've liked the page, and it's been fun watching your posts and see how those have progressed,
Yeah,
and now they've
exciting.
hatched.
They've hatched, and it's going to be a pretty wild ride.
That's great. Well, I would encourage you, if you're interested in wildlife diversity, to like Gina's Facebook page. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the Oklahoma Scholastic Shooting Sports program right after this week's Outdoor News Report. Well, I'm back with Gina, our wildlife diversity specialist. And Gina, you also have a newsletter.
We do. We have an electronic newsletter, The Wild Side, that comes out every month. We talk about everything from landscaping for wildlife. We do a species spotlight on different things. Last month was the tiger salamander. So we cover a wide range of topics on that newsletter.
Now, how can people get on the mailing list or subscribe?
Sure. So just go to wildlifedepartment.com, go to our link for The Wild Side, and just subscribe there.
Okay, good. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at the recently created Oklahoma Scholastic Shooting Sports program. And Gina, you and I have both been judges and scorekeepers at state shoots, and it's pretty exciting.
It is, and there's a lot of really strong competitors out there.
You know, this is a fast-growing program, and if you haven't heard about it yet, I'm sure you soon will. Let's take a look at the first ever state shoot we held.
So I'm here with Damon Springer, and why are we here today, and what are you doing here?
Well, this is our first annual Oklahoma Scholastic Shooting Sports Program state shoot, and what we've done today is we had 20 pilot schools when we started out, and we've invited them to bring their teams out for their first opportunity at a competition, and we actually have about 27 teams of senior and junior high, and their teams can have about 15 kids on them. So we've got, a little over 400 kids out here today shooting and competing for some trophies and an opportunity, just a little bragging rights, of course.
What's going on? Are you here watching anybody today specific?
Yeah, I'm watching my son. He's in the 10th grade, and he's doing the sporting clays this year and now this trap shoot.
So how well is he doing? Do you think the wind's affecting him at all?
The wind, Oklahoma wind always has an effect, that's for sure. But they seem to be handling it pretty well.
So you think you're a better shot than he is?
No, he started out shooting me last year.
That's
yeah.
It must make a dad proud.
Oh,
right?
it does. It does. He works really hard at it.
Does he still take advice from you as far as things he needs to consider?
He asks me sometimes, but he's getting to where he knows more than I do about it. That's for sure. He's done it a lot more than I have now.
We're in the second year of our shooting sports program. We've never had the program before, and last year we were fortunate, and our superintendent and the school board allowed us to go ahead and start the program. So it's been exciting.
Was there a little bit of people worried about it since you're bringing guns into school?
Well, we're not bringing guns into school. At Sealing, we're not allowed to. Everything we do is off campus, off site. We have assistants or parents that help us out, and they'll bring the guns to wherever we're shooting at the time. We've had several people offer and allow us to shoot on their property, and we've been fortunate there.
So why do you think it's important for these schools to bring this into their program?
Well, of course, for the wildlife department, we want to give every opportunity for kids to have the chance to shoot firearms and to, hopefully take that into the field and into the outdoors and be able to go hunting and fishing and just enjoy that. And this is one step a little bit closer to that. So we just want to give them that great opportunity.
Are you excited about your daughter being out here?
Yeah, I am. I was kind of surprised when she started doing this, but I think it's great. Like Kim was saying, this is another outlet for other kids that aren't necessarily involved in the basketball and those type of things, which my daughter is. But this is another good outlet for her, and more teamwork, and I'm glad she's here.
What do you think the kids are being able to take away from this? Are they, what are they learning?
Well, our kids' safety is number one. I mean, definitely safety, but there's a lot of responsibility that goes into this, and these kids are picking up on that, and they're learning how to do that. But the socialization that they're getting out of this program's been awesome also.
So have you had a chance to talk to any parents or maybe even some of the kids, and do they seem excited about it? And
oh man, we've got teams that are excited like crazy. I mean, they were telling us we're excited, we want to be here, and this is a great program, and it's so much different than football or basketball. The pressure is not near as much, and the kids get to just come out here and enjoy the day and enjoy shooting some firearms in a safe, great chance to get out here.
So do you see this as a benefit for the kids, be able to have something else to do? Or?
Definitely. A lot of my kids are seeing it as a great way to pay for college, as well as a great just hobby to do on the side, as well as educational on how to properly handle a shotgun. So
you're probably the best on your team, right?
No, I'm not. There's some really good people on my team.
You guys think you're going to come away ahead, top team?
Yep. I'll live for this.
How long have you guys been shooting shotguns?
2 weeks.
How long?
Not 2.
3 weeks?
Couple years.
Couple years?
Yeah.
How long?
About 8 years.
So where are you guys from?
Paola.
How many of these kids are new to shotguns, and how many of them are not?
I would say we've had a pretty experienced group. Our core group has been, but this year, with the growth that we saw after last year, I'd say we probably got 40 new shooters, kids that hadn't shot in the past that are shooting now. It'll be obvious to tell in our scores, but in a couple of years, these kids should be productive and able to hit a lot better than they are today.
That's good. How long have you been shooting shotguns?
A few months now. I just learned how to do it this year.
Are you really good? Shooting shotguns?
I know how to shoot them.
Good deal. So why do you think, do you like doing this, or you'd rather play basketball?
I'd rather play basketball, but this is a lot of fun too.
So do you have any predictions on who's going to come away the top shooter?
Oh, I wouldn't make that kind of a prediction, but I know we already have one guy that has shot a 24 out of 25, so he's done an excellent job already.
Gina, it wasn't really that many years ago you were in school. It was a few years longer for me, but I can't imagine how far we've come now. We're actually teaching shotgunning skills through the public schools.
And it's been a really successful event. A lot of strong competitors out there.
That's great. This program is going places, I'm sure.
It is.
You know, when it comes to wildlife diversity, you've actually got a few ways that the public can help get involved as well, right?
Yeah, so we have 4 citizen science efforts going on. We have the hummingbird feeder survey, tracking the arrival and departure dates of hummingbirds into our state. We have a nest box survey where citizens get out and actually establish nest box trails across our property and track the number of hatchlings that they have. There's a Texas horned lizard sighting where we just want to know where we're seeing Texas horned lizards. And then our last is the winter bird feeder survey going on in January.
Well, that's cool. You know, that nest box survey, you may not know this, but we've been doing this for a long time because I actually was involved in monitoring a nest box trail back in college.
Oh, how cool. It would be nice if we could get that data and see
I wouldn't
how
rely on that data. That might not be very accurate information. I was in college.
Well, hopefully it was sound.
We've been relying on the public's input for a long time.
We have, in some cases over 20 years.
That's great. Well, we'd encourage you to get involved. All those forms and ways to get involved as a citizen scientist with Gina are online.
We're putting them online and trying to get a way for online submission to those surveys.
That's great. Hey, thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to join in on our conservation conversation, we'd encourage you to like our Facebook page, join up with us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For all of us at your Wildlife Department, I'm Todd Craighead, and we'll see you right here next time on Outdoor Oklahoma.